Want to take better pictures and videos? How about online master classes for free? Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Tamron, our field services manager, Ken Hubbard. Hi, Ken.
Hi, how are you?
Terrific. And also with us is videographer, filmmaker, Andre Costantini. Hi, Andre.
Hey, how's it going?
Terrific. Well, let's start with an overview of what you folks are doing with the Tamron University master classes. I guess, Ken, you could take it first.
All right, so what we launched about a week ago were a set of master type classes that feature all different types of photographers, from nature to birding to portraiture. And fortunately for us, we have a number of ambassadors that work for us that have a very diverse knowledge of photography. And there are multiple steps in the courses. So there's, say, 4 to 7 minute long segments, multiple segments going from everything from who the photographer is to the business of photography. We actually go into the field and they apply their knowledge in the field in some segment, all the way through retouching. So it covers a broad spectrum of everything that they do. So it's really great.
And they're easy enough for anyone to grasp to get started and to follow along. Step us through some of the course offerings and some of the instructors. And we're going to be talking to one in a second.
Okay. So we launched with 4, and we started with very different subjects. First off, we started with David Akubian. He's doing birding photography, and he does it from in the field on location to actually in his backyard as well. We have Hernan Rodriguez that covers high-end portraiture and especially celebrity portraiture. We have Erica Robinson, who actually is a professional photographer and one of my field service reps as well. She does the art of storytelling. And then we have Kurt Gardner from the Adirondacks, way up there, and he does nature photography. So those are our first 4. We have more in the works, from astrophotography to documentary photography, videography, and a whole bunch of other subjects. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Exciting. And one of those upcoming is with Andre. And Andre, you'll be teaching a course on documentary filmmaking. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's correct. Documentary filmmaking is not only my passion, but something that I've done for the last 20 years. Everything from, short form films to feature documentaries. And I've had several, 3 films also that were made specifically for PBS. One, in fact, winning a regional Emmy, which is pretty cool. And so I'll be happy to go through my process and the process of how to approach a documentary subject. And as Ken mentioned, everything that we do in this series of classes involves an in the field segment. So in addition to the instructors talking about their philosophies, their approach, the equipment they use, there's also, you get to follow them along in the field as they produce images, or in my case, an actual short documentary film. So, the idea is that we would take everyone through the entire process. So you get ideas, like I said, philosophically and technically, but also get to see a piece or photographs made from being shot in the field to the post-production. So, we try to make it as comprehensive as possible. Each class has somewhere between 8 and 12 different chapters for maybe an aggregate of an hour to an hour and a half worth of material. So, there's so much these days on the internet where everything is such a short form, or how can you do it in 5 seconds or 30 seconds or something like this. And this kind of goes in the opposite direction. So it's a lot more comprehensive, a lot more to learn. People can take the classes at their own pace, and we're really excited about it.
And I guess today's equipment has opened the doors to filmmaking to everybody, I suppose. I mean, it's the kind of equipment that's available at pretty reasonable prices compared with what I guess rigs used to cost and be comprised of.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. And because the equipment is no longer the thing that is out of reach for most people, it becomes more about understanding the skill set to be able to produce what vision you might have in your mind. Because of course, there's nothing more frustrating than, knowing that you have the same camera that someone else has, and yet you can't make it do what you want, right? So to be able to get some insight on how to be able to use that tool to be creative and to get what you want is really the goal.
And there are people out there who may have great ideas for a documentary or want to tell a story. It could, it could be about themselves, I suppose, or family, or whatever. But not have they may have the storytelling skills, but not necessarily the technical skills. And I guess that's where you come in here, teaching us how to merge the two together.
I think that's a pretty accurate representation, I would say. Again, our goal is really to empower people to be able to, make the things that they want, like take the vision that they have with presumably the equipment that they have or they'll soon acquire, and then be able to, manifest that in some type of in my case more of a documentary film, in other cases photography. So again, as Ken mentioned, in this sort of series, we're trying to sort of cover the gamut of different types of filmmaking, different types of photography, and if people have an interest in something but they don't know about it, they can still take a class and probably pick up a lot.
So much content here and to come, Ken. And while it's great if folks are, I guess, using Tamron lenses, there's no requirement here. Anybody can join in and take these lessons, right?
Absolutely. Anyone who has a camera or even doesn't, even if they're using the cell phone, this may inspire them to, you know what, I need something to be a little bit more creative. I'm going to go to the camera store and pick something up. So literally anybody from the true beginner to a seasoned photographer will get something out of this. One of the nicest things putting this together is that I'm running the website page, so I monitor comments and see everything that's coming in. And some of the most rewarding are from people who've been shooting a lifetime being remotivated to go out and look at things differently and try something new. It's been fun and pretty exciting reading some of these comments from people that they kind of got into a doldrum and felt their photography was kind of stale, and then now they're excited again. So it's seems to be having a good impact on people. And part of, I think, the reason why is it's not, these classes are not meant to only be instructional in the sense that, this is an aperture, this is a shutter. They're also meant to be inspirational. Andre has written up an outline that allowed the photographers to tell their story, personal story as well, that helps them relate to the viewer even better, because once the viewer of these classes realize that's just a person as well, they get more comfortable and they enjoy themselves even more. So I think the way these are designed, they are really easy to watch. And the photographers we have are very relatable to the viewer. So
And that's a whole separate skill set, Andre, that you have, and I guess some of your other people who are participating in this have, is the ability to convey what they know to others, because a lot of people can do, but they don't necessarily know how to teach.
Yeah, I think that is true. I mean, the we have a pretty good group of people that we work with, and many of them either have been or are on some speaking circuit or teach workshops or things to this extent. And so I think it's true that they do have the ability not only to take great pictures or make great films, but also to be able to communicate how one can do that for themselves.
And when this is really for both of you, I guess when you talk to people, everyday folks, consumers today, what should they know about photography and videography with interchangeable lens cameras at a time when most folks are just relying on their phones? Not that the phones are bad these days, they're pretty good, right?
Well, no, I mean if you give a professional, any equipment, they're going to make great stuff because they have the know-how, right? And so it's kind of like the technology and what's available in the phone is so incredible to be able to take videos and photographs. And there's so much in something that's like with you all the time, right? And as the old adage goes, like, what's the best camera? It's the one that you have with you, right? So there's times where perfect tool for the job. But with that said, if you have a specific intent or you're trying to get a specific type of photograph or make a specific type of film, like using the right gear for that is going to make your life easier, right? And so that just becomes like, I'll give you one a quick example. If you're someone interested in birding photography at this particular point in life, being a birding photographer with your phone is still kind of difficult just because there's not the type of zoom lens or the magnification and the quality that you would want to be able to get really great stuff. So just one example, but of course it also works for for filmmaking as well. There's the phones do really well, but maybe not really well with lower light for video. And there's certain things, again, over time, all these things might change, but where we are at this point in history, using the right tool to get the type of images and film that you want is really going to up your game.
Ken, you want to jump in too?
Yeah, I mean, and coming from the lens side, being that we work for Tamron, that not only are camera bodies more accessible to people to really bring their game forward, lenses as well. I mean, we cover the gamut. If you just want to travel to Europe and take better pictures, maybe you use an all-in-one zoom. Or if you're birding, you're going to have that telephoto, and the technology between the lenses and these new cameras today has really opened it up. And you see it out there in the field. I teach a lot of seminars at dealers and stuff like that, and you see these people for the first time getting into it and buying this equipment because now they can. And it actually, even though these camera bodies are gigantic, really powerful computers, for some reason they're more relatable to people, I guess maybe because they are like a computer now. But it's fun watching these people step into different genres of photography that they may never even thought of. Look at recently night skies. Night skies in the past 10 or so years has exploded, and that's because the technology has allowed for it. So, and you just see the joy. And Andre and I taught a lot of workshops in night skies. And I'll say one of the most rewarding is the first time you have like 10 or 12 people lined up in a row, never taken a night skies picture before. You give them the settings, you tell them what to do. They all fire the camera at once. The LCDs light up all at the same time, and all of them go, oh my God, all at once. So it's, all of a sudden they're hooked, and then they're off and running.
Great story. And for more info, where's the place to go?
Go to tamronamericas.com and you'll see the Tamron University tab, and you'll link on that. You'll see all of the current photographers that we have, as well as the coming soon classes. So, yep, tamron-americas.com, and then you'll see the Tamron University tab.
And again, we're going to mention it is free, so why not, right? Jump in. Ken
Yep.
Hubbard and Andre Costantini, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.